Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Mr. Kamath, Joint Managing Director at Jyothy Laboratories, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kamath, and it's a pleasure speaking to you once again. Our first conversation was when the lockdown had almost just started. We were still not really in the unlocking phase. But now, if you go to see, a lot of improvement has happened with regards to where the consumer sentiment is concerned. We have seen people who've started to move out on the roads, and there is that fair bit of resilience that we have been picking up in this time of crisis. If you have to see the situation then versus now, how has the improvement been, taking into consideration the first quarter numbers as well?
Thank you for having me. And the situation is much better than what we thought it would be. And fear is not there now, whether in the manufacturing or supplies, or at least including the last mile delivery. The fear is not there of doing the business. The consumers are buying a little more than what they used to buy in the past, because the quarterly numbers, if I see, the positive growth indicates that compared to the same period, we have done 6% more in the volume. And it also, in the secondary sales also, we are seeing more or less the same numbers. So it's not just the primary, even the secondary. And the modern trade and CSD, there's some decline because of obvious reasons that they did not open up the retail outlet in the soon after the unlock happened. They took their own time, and the CSD has its own issues. To that extent, that losses are made up in the general trade. So in our case, all the 27 factories are working now, and the 27th we added on July 2nd during the COVID time. We added the 27th facility in Pithampur, for which capex had been done before 31st of March. So we just opened that for a dishwasher facility. We manufactured their EXO for the northern India. So all the 27 factories are working almost, I would say, 100% the capacity. So the secondary sales are good, primary are good, and one unique thing which I'm seeing in the marketplace is the liquidity is much more than what it was pre-COVID levels. Maybe people are spending more, or maybe NBFC is releasing the money in the market, or government is doing a lot of things to ease like credits in the marketplace, and distributors are having money, retailers are having money, and consumers are having money. And the cash flow, what we saw in April-June quarter, is one of the highest cash flows, inflows, what we have seen in the business. And that's heartening to note. And rural is doing much better than urban. Both are growing, but rural growth has been fantastic. I'm seeing 2004, 2008 trend, like Manrega, Narega. During those times, the trend used to be go rural. And that's the kind of business we are seeing now. Hopefully, that will stay in the coming quarters also.
Right. And overall, as well, I mean, it's really encouraging to see, at least with regards to where FMCG as a category goes, there is good volume growth that has come in. Especially if I see with regards to Jyothy as well, we have seen profits which have increased by almost on 30-33%. Your EBITDA has improved as well, in comparison to the previous quarter. So clearly, it's giving you an indication that we've not really seen any degrowth or any major impact of COVID with regards to the lockdown period. However, are you expecting this kind of trend to continue going ahead?
Very good question. In fact, in our portfolio, 85% of our business are essential.
Hmm.
Basically, fabric wash and like a body wash and utensils cleaner. That's a dishwash. So during this COVID time, people have seen health and hygiene in a more serious way. People don't want to fall sick at all. They don't want to go to the doctor. They don't want to go to the hospital. They just want to be healthy, safe, and that's the mantra. What has happened is people have gone out to go for a wash immediately. The clothes will go for a wash immediately. People are going out, coming back, having bath is happening. And hand wash has been very regular. I've never seen that kind of a thing. and with hand wash used by the toilet soap and hand wash as a category also. I'm seeing the growth in every aspect. Like people are sitting at home and they're cooking at home, they're washing utensils much more than ever before. So that shift has happened. So it is a category growth, which has a reason why it has grown. Initially, the April sales, I thought it's a panic buying. May, I thought it's a panic buying. But June also, if you get the more or less the same numbers, and July also you're experiencing the same thing, then I know that it has become more like a habit that wash your clothes more often and wash your hands more often and have probably possible twice a day a bath. Even if 10% people have, like 2 times a bath, it's a huge category growth. So what I'm seeing is the category growth happening in main wash, it's happening in dishwash, it's happening in a body wash. So that is going to remain. Most of it is going to remain because health and hygiene will take the lead. And as you rightly said, FMCG, because being essential, people are not compromising on that. Probably discretionary spends, they're not spending much. But the essentials, they're spending a little more than what they're spending in the past.
Right. So overall, the trend that I pick up from our conversation right now is that general trade as a whole is doing well. Rural is actually doing well versus urban. And the only dampener right now is with regards to where modern trade is concerned or the CSD canteens go. And that's for obvious reasons that we are seeing. Now, taking all of this into consideration, are we seeing any hindrance with regards to where supply chain goes? Because majority of the companies that I'm talking to right now, they're still facing some hurdles with regards to supply chain, maybe at manufacturing level or at distribution level. Any logistics issues that still pertain?
In fact, the problems will always be there. And like some states, you'll have more lockdown. Some, you have containment zone. All these things are there. What is required is that you need to be nimble and you need to be at the marketplace. You need to know because no containment zone is declared overnight. There is sufficient notices given for the households to say that from tomorrow it is in the containment zone. So they can buy. And most of the containment zones also, the retailer has a supply chain to go into the consumer households so because it's a closed container, but they can always come out and they can buy whatever they want to the extent that the retailer is going to deliver till the housing complex. And the modern trade in the CSD, that's already most of it shifted to general trade because people who cannot go to the modern trade to pick up the products, they buy it from the neighboring Kirana store. What I saw in the first quarter is the original neighborhood Kirana stores are doing extremely good job. They open earlier by 7:30, and they're closing at about 10 o'clock, and they do the door delivery also. So whatever the convenience in the past they used to have, these people are providing at a regular price. And for the companies like us, what happens is that our realization is very high in general trade. Our realization goes a little lower in modern trade in the CSD because they're all, it's a negotiated price of what they take from us. And modern trade and CSD is always on credit, whereas general trade is always on cash. So it's always better to concentrate more when it is required on the general trade and ensure that the modern trade and CSD, wherever they have the catchment area, fill in the stock from the retail general trade perspective. As far as the supply chain is concerned, because we have 27 factories, we are not seeing as much problems as probably others are seeing because we are there in every state. Most of the states we are there. And we have warehouses at all the states. So we have enough facilities to produce and enough space to stock. And at this point in time, I don't see any difficulty. And also being in the GST era, transferring stock from one state to other state is that much easier, unlike it was before. So that takes in, we are not finding any difficulties at this point in time in supply chain.
Right. And with this, are you seeing a change in buying pattern trend? Because last time we spoke as well, clearly we were seeing indications where smaller size packs was really picking up really well. Has that continued right now, number one? And number two, a lot of FMCG companies who, have started to focus on their B2C strategy as well. Are we also looking at something like that?
Yes, in fact, we started the smaller packs much before COVID because
Correct.
if you remember, pre-COVID, about 6 quarters, rural was not doing that great, and the
Correct.
slowdown was there across. And we introduced 5 rupee, 10 rupee pack
Mm.
much, like in advance. So there was no necessity for us to introduce during COVID. We did have the packing. But what I'm seeing now is the rural 5, 10, 20 rupee packs are growing faster than the regular packs of 100 grams, 1 kilo. And that is heartening to note. So that people are coming out and buying smaller packs and more often. And nobody have shifted the brand as such. They have down trading in the same brand. Probably instead of buying a kilo, they're buying 500 grams because of obvious reasons of like buying for a smaller price. So that is happening in a rural and semi-urban. As far as urban is concerned, I'm seeing combination of both. People are buying instead of 1 kilo, they're buying for 3 kilos because they don't want to go to the shop again. So that visits they want to reduce it. So they're stocking much more than before. So to that extent, it's a combination of both. And in our case, all the factories are equipped to produce what is required based on the demand from SKU, SKU wise. And as that 100% of our sales force is equipped with the Salesforce automation tool, it's easier for us to predict which market, what SKUs is moving in the last week, in the last month, or the last quarter. So accordingly, we can plan much better. So that data analytics has come in very handy now for us to plan our production accordingly.
Right. And in terms of cost optimization, are we seeing any areas where we are doing cost optimization right now?
Lots we have done. I think April, when we created a COVID task force, we knew that there will be a hit on the top line. At that time, that was a thinking, and we didn't know what the lockdown and how it operations would be till we government got the notification by April 10th and 11th. Till then, we were clueless, and none of us we have experienced, seen or heard. We were only seeing the TV, what's happening in Italy, what's happening in UK, what's happening in US. So the fear was there that we may not get the business as much we want. So let's concentrate on cost cutting. So a lot of things have been captured to save the cost, and but we don't take the salary cuts, and we didn't do that because component of us employee cost in FMCG business is less than 10%. So you don't have to really worry on that. And we paid out whatever the like salary and incentives for the earlier years. Wherever was required, we released that. But we did take productivity as one of the big cost saver. So with the like 60-65% of the people based on the social distancing norm, we are able to get 80-85% of the productivity. So overall, the productivity has gone up as a company. And there are a lot of small things which, like for example, travel, hotel, meetings, and all these things come as a blessing in disguise. Otherwise, FMCG company, that travel become a part of your cost, staff cost, but that's not happening now. And raw material cost was again it is coming down, so that we got the tailwind positive. So overall, it's a mix of maintaining the cost wherever it's possible, and we continue to hold on to that cost post like COVID also, because once you get the taste of that cost saving, you'll never give up so easily. And the last one, which is substantial, was the advertisement cost. When new contents were not getting into the TV, and there's no point in spending on the on advertisement, and we would reduce by more or less by half, and we're able to increase the turnovers. We got the scale, and at the same time, realization was very high. And no sales promotion, no big sales promotion, because during this COVID time, people don't really worry which is coming with free, with what and all. Whatever they get, they can go. So quickly we were able to realign our trade promotion scheme, realign our trade discounts, and convert everything into cash and carry. So with that, it worked in our favor. Cost cutting, probably about 2%. What we have done overall, probably half of that we'll be able to retain in our margin going forward also.
Nice. And then with this, another thing is that, you've already enhanced your production facilities as well. I think just before lockdown, a capex was already incurred with regards to the dishwashing manufacturing plant at Pithampur. Now, are we at 100% utilization at that plant, or we still have some space to reach there?
Pithampur plant would be about 50% because it takes time. We opened on
Right.
July 2nd and a lot of things have to fall in place. So maybe about 50%, but that will be one of our biggest plant in the country. So by the year end, by March 2021, it will get into 100% production. But as of now, there is no worries as far as production constraints are concerned across the country.
Right. And any further capex that Mr. Kamath we would be looking to incur in the current year?
No, but definitely there is no capex, big capex, not only in the current year and the next year also, because we have enough. And at the same time, the COVID has, our focus is on conserving the cash and focus is to become debt free as quickly as possible and just conserve the cash, whatever is possible, and no big capex. And maybe up to 3,000, 3,500 crore turnover, whatever we have, the facilities now is more than sufficient for us to meet the demand. So no capex as such.
Right. And if we are seeing zero capex in the current year, any debt repayment plans that we will have, because the cash flow that we are seeing is really encouraging.
Yeah, as of now, net debt has come down to about 80 crore. And if I see the cash flows, probably next 2 to 3 months, cash flow should be good enough for us to pay off the debt. Definitely we don't want to retain the debt unless it is required. But nothing wrong in having a debt, but at the same time, when you don't need it, why do you want to have it? So probably pay up the debt, and in case if you want to really do something big thereafter, take the debt if required. But intent is to bring down to the debt-free level as quickly as possible. Should happen in the December quarter.
Right. And overall, by when do you think the industry can see packaged products demand reaching pre-COVID levels? And if that happens, do we see a change in terms of demand mix between rural and urban?
Uh, Very good question. In fact, rural will be the growth driver for the next 2 to 3 years. No doubts in my mind. Reasons are two, three. First reason is a good monsoon, good MSP, and government spending a lot of money in rural, a lot of money in infrastructure. Government is giving free groceries till Diwali. That means they'll have more money in their hands to spend for other than food. Non-food will take like little more money because they'll have the money. And also government saying that you can sell your products wherever you want for the agri products. Not necessarily that you need to go through the regular market, and you can produce wherever you want, you can sell wherever you want. And with the good logistics support, I think that overall earning in the hands of the farmer will be much, much more than what it used to be in the past. Added to that, the next goal for Government of India should be how do we double our farmers' income? And that will be definitely a goal because that's what has been promised, and I think they are working towards that. With that, when 70% of the people are living in rural India, consumption has to come from there, and they needed the money. And now they get the money because of recovery and because of the government support and because of so many things, and also the direct transfers, what's happening, and Mudra schemes coming out in a big way in rural India, infra projects. According to me, next 2 to 3 years, the rural is the market to look forward.
Right. One devil's advocate that I want to play over here is where all of us have been talking about that rural India is something which is going to be the growth driver. No doubt, we are seeing that kind of up move that's happening from that end as well. However, if you think about it, a lot of migrant money that goes to rural India from the urban markets through the migrant laborers, right? Now, till the time they continue to remain in rural markets and don't come back, at full-fledged levels to start working in urban, don't you think there could be a possibility where we could actually put a full stop, or there could be a block with regards to that liquidity reaching rural India directly like this?
Uh, the way how the migrants workers went to rural India and the speed in which they are coming back is definitely, speed is less, but people are start coming back to urban India. Because just imagine a situation that you go to the family and there is already, a five, people are living on the agricultural fields, and you go other four people there. They can take care of them for a month or two, but not forever. It's not possible because there's no job opportunity for them in rural India. The government can only take care of them by giving 150 rupees a day, but that's not sufficient, right? So at some point in time, they'll come back to urban, and it's already started coming in. South, most of the people are started coming back to the work, and construction is work is happening, infrastructure work is happening. So all I'm saying is that the people who have gone from Mumbai to Haryana, probably they go to Delhi, or people have gone from Delhi to Bihar, then they go back maybe to Hyderabad. But these youngsters who have seen the life in urban India, they may not be able to stay for a longer period of time in rural India. That's my guess. And also, if you see the sales which is happening in rural India, it's not necessarily is only because of the existing people. It's also the people, crores of people have gone, at least 2 to 3 crore of people are migrant workers who have gone back. They need to buy what they were buying in an urban market. So that's the trend also we are seeing. But urbanization is the future. Probably a lot of MSMEs will open, in the tier 3, tier 4 cities. All those things will be there. But the job creation, if MSMEs have to do in rural India, it only can happen in tier 4, tier 5 cities, and the neighborhood villages will be supported by that. So the trend continues, and government who have spent now 1,70,000 crore on direct transfers, it's a huge sum at any point in time, and money has gone. That's why at the opening remark I told you that it's the first time I'm seeing the kind of liquidity in the marketplace. It was not there in the past. In the past, the way how dealer used to say that okay, paisa nahi hamara paas, maal rakne ka, to rakh do, paisa next week mein denge. Now it is not like that. 2% extra discount de do, paisa leke jao. This is the wholesalers' words in rural India, and that is heartening, especially the sub-stockist level. Money is available. Maybe he must have taken from the bank, maybe he has taken from a cooperative bank, maybe he has taken from NBFC, maybe he has got from somewhere, but money is there. That is the game changer. The liquidity is a game changer. And if you see the last 6 quarters, one of the biggest reason for the slowdown was the liquidity. Maybe because of island affairs, because of a lot of scams here and there. Liquidity was stopped. And when the liquidity is not there, nothing will go. But now it has come back, the liquidity. I mean, everybody identified that the growth, the liquidity is important, it has come back. I always used to say in many forums, in India, bikes were not sold. Those are loans which is sold the bikes. Cars were not sold. It's the car loans which is sold the bikes. It's very easy to sell a car when you say EMI is 8,500 and you can buy a car. You don't have to sell a car. You sell the EMI. People will buy in for that, right? So that is the way how it is in India. Automobile sector, or for that matter, real estate is all backed by loans, and that's the growth. So to that extent, now when I'm giving 1% extra for a cash discount, imagine that we are giving, if he's buying every week, it is earning a 4% extra per month for him. So to that extent, he won't mind taking the loan and buying the FMCG product, which is moving faster. So overall, the liquidity is a game changer, and if the same liquidity continues, according to me, we are here for good growth coming from rural India.
Right. And very lastly, Mr. Kamath, any product enhancements that we are looking to do in terms of additions in the coming quarters?
In fact, we have already done. Margot has gone for face wash. Margot has gone for hand wash. Margot has gone for sanitizer. In that hand wash is going to stay as a category, a big category, like face wash. Because now every sink, every wash basin will have a hand wash. There's no doubt. So that category will stay. And as far as XO is concerned, we have launched XO Ginger, and then Prill, we have launched Prill Tamarind. So some brand extensions, we keep doing it. But the big game changer in Margot would be the hand wash and the sanitizer and the face wash. And we are also spending the money on building those, like brand extensions through advertisement. And that's going to stay, is going to be the category. Once the category stays, then all of us will gain out of that. So looks good.
Right. Hoping that things get in place for everyone from here on. But thank you so much, Mr. Kamath, for joining us on this show. It was a pleasure to have you, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion as well.
Yes, thank you, Hiral.